Okay, trying something new here. I call it a weekly recap. This will be the first one I do on the channel. And here we go. Let's take a look at this week's weekly recap. Space aliens are time travelers. Now I know that sounds crazy, but if you watch this video, I'm sure by the end of it, you'll be agreeing with me. I have a theory and let me break it down. And since I'm gonna be brief and quick with it, we'll just say theoretically if some aliens came to Earth, because I want to get into the whole thing about would it be existence of aliens. I mean, with trillions of stars in the sky and all of them are just like our sun and all of them got planets rotating them around them and having their own solar systems just like we have, then I would say yes, but I don't want to get into that whole argument. That ain't what this is about. So go ahead and step through this space-time continuum wormhole with me. Watch your feet there. Okay, now it's time to get into some research. Let's look at the science of it all. Well, the first thing we have to do is find the closest Earth-like planet to us. And the reason we want a close one because of travel time. And here we go, this one right here. It's Proxima Centauri b. It's the closest Earth-like planet to us, and it's only 4.2 light years away. Wow. Okay, we on our way. First, let's check our spacecraft's trusty GPS to see what time we'll get there if we leave right now. Oh, no, man. 80,000 years from now, man? Are you serious? Let's look this up. Yep. It will be 80,000 years because avoids using our current fastest spacecraft like the New Horizons. It would take us 80,000 years. And that's just going there. We still got to turn around and come back to Earth and bring whatever supplies, gold, diamonds, whatever we mined up there and went to go get. So you got 80,000 years coming back. Let's do the mathematics. I'm gonna break out the calculator, see how much time the round trip will be. Man, that round trip ticket will be 160,000 years just to go there and come back. Now you see what I'm saying? So if you're a space alien, say you got to get some gold to probably do your atmosphere, it's an emergency, or our atmosphere is going, you don't have 160,000 years to sit and wait around. So in conclusion, for it to make any sense to them to come to our little third rock from the sun, they would have to have figured out the space-time continuum. Other than that, it wouldn't even make sense. And I doubt they'll do like in the movies when they get here, crash their ship, because that didn't ever make sense to me. All these movies where you see the aliens come all the way here, and as soon as they get in the Earth's atmosphere, they're like, oh no, I got amnesia. I forgot how to fly the ship. Hey, what am I doing? Oh no, I'm crashing. If you ask me, those fancy space portals would be the way to go. Speaking of space portals, let's step back through this space portal. I gotta get back to my day job, and I'll see y'all again on the next one. And if you wouldn't mind being kind, please hit that like button on your way out. Peace. Okay, today's movie review is something special. It's for all those guys that wonder what it'd be like if they had a synthetic human as their, a robot girlfriend for their mate. So then you'll be just like this guy right here saying, oh baby, I love you so much. You're better than a real human. You don't never talk back to me. You cook, you clean. Oh, you're so perfect. Okay, for now, I'm gonna start off with the title of this TV show, Humans. The A is upside down. I don't know why they spell the A upside down. I'm only on the 3rd episode, so maybe I'll figure that out later on. So most likely I'm gonna do a part 2 and 3 of this because they do run for 3 seasons. Okay, a quick side note here. English is the preferred term for people who live in England, while Britons or British refers to people who live in the entire United Kingdom, which includes England, Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland. And the relevance of that is that it's an English show. I was going to call it a British show, and there's a difference. You see, it was shot in London and parts of Hertfordshire and Kent. And this sci-fi drama series was written by Sam Vincent and Jonathan Brackley, and it's based on a Swedish award-winning drama called Real Humans. Their all-star cast includes actors William Hurt, Catherine Parkinson, Colin Morgan, Rebecca Front, and Gemma Chan. All right, now that we got the introductions out the way, it's time to get into it and do it. The first episode is basically them just running from the regular humans and not trying to get captured, which unfortunately, within a few seconds of the first episode, they already captured by some humans. It's actually 5 of them in their crew, and only 2 of them is able to avoid capture by the humans. And that seems like it's going to be a running theme with it, because they end up trying to free the guys that got captured, and it seemed like it happened to them before, so they kind of knew the drill. And I felt bad for the 3 that got captured. As soon as they got captured, they got sold and put to work the same day. I mean, like, they ain't get no kind of rest. 1 second they was running, next thing they know, they getting sold and put somewhere to work. Episode 2, the 2 that got away is plotting and planning how they're going to free the others. And the only one that got off light is the Asian one, Synth Anita. And they call them synths for synthetic humans. But Synth Anita got off the best because she actually ended up being a live-in housekeeper, while the one guy got sold to the factory as a factory worker, and then the blonde lady, she got sold to a doggone brothel. Episode 3 was all about drama between Laura, the wife of the house that Synth Anita works at, and Laura is jealous of Synth Anita, and the rest of the family's like, listen, Mom, she's just a robot. How you gonna be jealous of a robot? But she's like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and return her. She tries to return her, but the teenage boy wasn't having it. And he got in a wreck trying to save Anita from getting returned. And the reason the teenage boy likes her, I mean, he's like, you're built so sexy. And well, you know, teenage boys. Okay, I'm about to tell you a story that seems crazy, but it's 100% true. You can look up the spacecraft, and I'll give you the name of the pilot and everything. And this happened a while back in 2003 to be exact. Yeah, so this astronaut was real happy to be going out in space because his country, even though their space program was going real good, they didn't actually put somebody in space yet. He'll be the first one to go out in space through their program. And I mean, this guy had everything going good for him. The lunch went well. Everybody was watching him on TV, lunching off, and the guy's all happy. He goes out in space. While up there in space, everything's going exceedingly well, even better than expected. And then one day while he's up there and he's just checking computer monitors and gauges and doing the regular systems check that astronauts do on the daily, he starts hearing something. And he's like, yo, what is that sound? So he starts looking around and walking around the aircraft trying to see maybe there's something that fell down or moving around or something like that. And then he finally says, well, maybe I was just imagining that. And then he starts hearing it again. Knock, 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 knock. The guy looks all around, but then he gets to the conclusion of one sinking feeling in his stomach that, man, sounds like that's coming from by the door. It can't be by the door. Then hears something again. Knock, knock. Oh, man, nah, it can't be the door. And here's knock, 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 knock. So, of course, the guy was like, oh, heck no, man, I ain't about to open up the door. I don't know what that is when I ain't opening up that door. And I'm thinking what he probably was thinking at the time. It's probably a space alien out there saying, hey, man, it's cold out here, man. Let me in for a minute, though. Well, needless to say, that door never got open, but that man did have a story to tell when he got back. Well, you see, the astronaut who reported hearing a strange knocking sound on the outside of his spacecraft was none other than Yang Liwei, who was China's first person in space during his 2003 Chang'e 5 mission. And you can actually look that mission up for yourself. It's called the Chang'e 5 mission. They described the sound as somebody knocking on the door with like a piece of wood or something. They probably was like, boom, boom, hey, buddy, come on, man. Now, the official explanation for this phenomena is that the noise was caused by a structural change of the spacecraft due to the decreasing air pressure and temperature as it entered and left orbit. But for me, I still think it was space aliens. Oh, man, could you imagine that if it was actually space aliens out there playing ding dong ditch out in space? Oh, man, that's scary. Yeah, so I had a crazy dream. We was over by a major warehouse and everybody was parking up crazy and everybody ran out of spaces to park, so people started parking all up on the grass and stuff like that. I saw one area where people wasn't parked yet, so I said, okay, I'll go park over here. I walked into the warehouse to check in. It was kind of a long walk. Like I said, I had to park somewhere in the grass and then walk in. Went in and like, okay, like I'm here with a delivery. You know, I did all the normal stuff, like you go in and exchange pleasantries, you say hi and smile, let people know that, hey, this is a nice guy, let's do business with him right quick. The normal stuff kind of becomes mechanical to you after you're doing it so long. But it's once I ended my paperwork, somebody come dashing out the back, like, hey, is that your truck over there? I see your truck on the monitor. The man's rushing, he's all out of breath, so I'm like, yeah, so what's going on with my truck, man? Now I'm excited because this person's all excited and panicking and everything. It was like the area you park your truck, that's actually on top of a fuel tank. I'm like, a fuel tank? What the hell are we talking about? Man, I jumped out of that place. I didn't know what the panic was about, it being on top of a fuel tank, and I didn't want to find out the wrong way, so I just took off running, man. I'm sweating just getting at it. Part of me was thinking, wait, fuel tanks are underground. They used to get drove over by a lot of weight. You got fuel tanks at all these truck stops, but they underground and they drive the trucks right on top of them. But obviously it's not this place, so I got to kick feet and keep pushing. And when I get up to the spot, man, I see my truck is starting to sinking, man. That's just how my heart started feeling. My heart started sinking like, no, not my truck. A precious truck, it didn't do nothing to nobody, man, not the truck. By the time I reached the spot, it was already gone, man. I was just left with the clothes on my back and my phone. I'm like, man, what type of junk? About the time I got back into the building, I was confused, angry, saddened. Man, I didn't know how to feel. But everybody at that office was just telling me, oh, it's all your fault. You're such a bad person. How could you park there? Oh, you're such a bad person. And just like that, I snapped out of my sadness. It was replaced by pure rage. I'm like, man, how the heck are y'all saying that I did this on purpose? Why would I mess up everything I got going on? And just as I go to chip out and start yelling and jumping around, boom, I wake up. When I wake up, start looking around like, oh no, the oil field, what's going on? Where's the truck? Of course, I was relieved when I realized that was just a stupid, scary nightmare. But for me, man, it was worse than Freddy Krueger, Jason, that nun lady, Chucky, all that put in one, man. And since I'm not the one to try to figure out and analyze dreams, they gonna try to figure out what that was about. And I don't think I would really want to know what the meaning of that dream, because that was too weird for me. Oh well, back to work. All right, my good people. Hola, mi gente. For today's story, I want to talk about Energy Drink Tim. That's what I'm going to call this one. Of course, Tim is not the guy's real name. I mean, obviously, you don't put nobody's real name in a real story. I think the legal term for that is CYA. Anyway, back to the story. Well, this particular story takes place many moons ago when I was still a young, energized youngster. And now that I'm thinking about it and remembering this certain event, I basically got tricked to working on the inside of the warehouse because I have a CDL, man. I ain't got to work on the inside of the warehouse. I wanted to do the yard dog work, move the trailers from the dock door, put it back at the yard and put it in the spot or whatever. Stuff like that, yard dog work. I wasn't trying to work inside the warehouse, but it was basically like, yo, when you first start off, you got to start off inside the warehouse, and then they'll let you work outside as the yard dog. And I'm like, that don't make sense to me, but okay, whatever. And on the inside of the warehouse, that's where I met Energy Drink Tim. And man, they had him lifting hella boxes. I like, yeah, I don't do all that. Might as well don't put me over by his workstation. But one day we was in the break room talking, and dude was like, yeah, man, all you gotta do is get you some energy drinks and stuff. And I ain't trying to talk another man out of whatever he's doing. So I'm like, yeah, man, that's basically ain't me. I'm coffee or something light like that. Matter of fact, let me look up something. Yeah, I had to pause the story right quick to look up and see what taurine is. And man, y'all ain't gonna believe this, but dang it, man, for real, taurine is bull balls. I mean, you know, to say the PG version of it, but what the heck? Yeah, I should have guessed that one because the Latin word Taurus is where they get taurine, and Taurus means bull. No, man, in that case, we might as well call it red balls. Well, I guess that's better than blue balls. Either way, I digress. Back to this whole story. So we was basically working on the same shift, and dude kept trying to talk to me about energy drinks like he's some kind of energy drink salesman or something. So I'm like, why would I go out and buy an energy drink? Well, why can't I just get one of yours, man? You be coming in here with 6-packs, 12-packs and junk. Man, really, you don't need to be drinking all that in one shift. And it was actually two reasons I said that. For number one, the obvious reason of a health concern for a fellow being on the planet. And secondly, man, I'm only going to go so fast on whatever I do, man. I'm trying to make my work be the best work I can. That way other people see your work. They're like, oh man, that dude do good work. You know, you have pride in yourself, and you ain't got to really speak too much on it because your work speak for itself. Man, hold up, I just thought of a third reason. I wasn't going to be there that long anyway, man, because I ain't really what I signed up for. Like I said in the beginning, I thought I was going to do some yard dog work. So needless to say, I didn't stick around that place long enough to remember anybody's real name. I couldn't even tell you Energy Drink Tim's real name, definitely not his last name. Which actually makes a sad conclusion to the story, because the last time I was through town, I heard the poor guy had a stroke. Now, I'm not blaming the energy drinks on that. I'm saying you have to pace yourself. Too much of anything isn't good for you. I like drinking water, but I wouldn't go in the middle of a lake and try to drink the whole lake, you know? And that's just food for thought until next time, my friends. Well, every now and then I see a weirdly parked driver, but I think this guy right here takes the cake. He's just all in the way. Yeah, so that's an area where you drive through when you're going to go park at the truck stop. kind of blocking the aisle. It's more to the story. I think he parked like that kind of in protest. But I really want to talk about that gambling thing that's in the news. So if you stick around to the end of the video, then I'll tell you what happened on the whole parking in the middle of aisle story. My thing with the whole cracking on the sports gambling is like, why now? Because it's been going on for a long time. Heck, back in the days before my time, when Babe Ruth was hitting the ball, they was gambling back then on the sports and betting each other. All of a sudden now it's an emergency that they have to do that. Makes me think that, well, like they say, follow the money. Because I think some of these gambling outfits out here that's doing it the legal way, that said, hey, I'd be making even more money if it wasn't for these other guys out here. That's when phone calls start getting made, money start getting confiscated. But hey, that's just a theory though. Okay, now back to this guy. So yeah, I'll give you the conclusion of why this goofy parked all crazy. So he was over in this area, the reserved area, and he was in a reserved parking space. Somebody knocked on his door. Excuse me, sir, but this is a reserved area. You gotta be a big baller shot caller, probably like Rodney Trucking or one of these other big ballers over here. So please move. The guy got mad, so he just parked in the middle. Like, yeah, I'm gonna block everybody from getting in and out. And it be like that sometimes. No, it be like that sometimes, man. But you can't be a hater of what's greater. And with that said, man, peace. See you later, man. I'll catch you on the next episode. Yeah, and don't forget to hit that like button to catch the next adventure. Hi there. Today we're going to be talking about the Garmin Diesel 580 Trucker GPS. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll probably tell you something about it that you didn't know. It's something about the GPS I didn't know myself till I was checking out the back of it, but I don't want to spoil it. Wait till the end of the video and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, so right out the box, what you see is what you get. Everything's looking good. You get 2 chargers, one for in the house, which is the USB charger, and the other one's the car charger for when you're inside your vehicle. Comes along with the little book and also the suction cup to put it up on the window. That book, you really don't need that book like that because it's real easy to operate. You get the hang of it on the first day. Okay, well now moving on to the display screen. It's got a 5-inch display screen. Some people like to get the bigger size screens, like the 7 series have a bigger screen, and of course the 10 series, they got like the 1050 and stuff like that. But the 530 comes with that 5-inch screen, which is basically enough for me. It's not the, you know what I'm saying, I have it over by me, not far from me, so it's not like, and I'm not hard of seeing, so I never had a problem with it. And I think the bigger ones I had, when I had a Rand McNally, I had a bigger one, and that seemed to take up too much of the windshield for me. I just didn't like to have one that was way too big. Also, it has voice command that could come in handy, but I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes you'll be watching TV or listening to the radio, and then it'll think you're talking to it. So I mean, it doesn't happen too often, but you know, every now and then it happens like that. Or I'm talking and saying something, and then it'll think I'm talking to it. It also hooks up to your phone, so you can get real-time traffic and get notifications and stuff from your phone, and a lot of good features. Okay, now for the back of it, that's where you plug it up at. That's also where you got your on-off power button. But it was something else I saw on the back of it that I didn't pay attention to much until I looked back and saw this right here. Yes, it's made in Taiwan, which is pretty cool. I think that's a good thing. That's, you know, it's they do a good job. They put it together well. Like, I had a Rand McNally before that broke on me, and ever since I had my Garmin, I never had trouble like that. Yeah, I just thought that was funny because I had it for so long and I never really paid much attention to the back of it until the day when I was looking at the back of it. But yeah, they got a lot of office buildings and stuff in the US. I just, you know, figured it was manufactured here. But like I say, it's pretty good GPS, and that's your Garmin 580, and probably something you didn't know about it. Oh, well, I didn't notice how much I talked about space aliens on this one, so I think I'm gonna call this week's recap Space Aliens in the Dream. And that's it for this week. So if you hit that like, I see you on the next video.